Merry Christmas, everyone.
Merry Christmas.
Today is Christmas. Today is the final day of the 12 days of whiskey, and we have something special for you guys. We got a couple Santa surprises. Yesterday, we did Jason's favorite distillery, Bardstown. Today, we start off with one of my two. Michter's was the first stop on our whiskey tour in June, and I've always liked Michter's because of when I first got into bourbon. Shout out my cousin's husband, Jimmy, my friend Jimmy, my good friend Jimmy. He was really influential in my bourbon journey. And Michter's was one of the first bottles he recommended to me. And I remember drinking it, and it was maple syrup. It was sweet. It was something different than most of the other bourbons. Come to find out, it's because of the way they choose and pick their corn, and they got their own corn blend, which makes everything so sweet. So this is Michter's Barrel Strength Rye. It's 112 proof rye. This is this year's. Jason, you got this sometime in March.
Yep.
And I will say, anything Michter's, I'm a fan of. I don't think I've had a bottle which I didn't like, whether it be the Barrel Strength Rye, just their standard rye. The Toasted Barrel Bourbon is my favorite whiskey of all time. I still haven't been able to get my hands on a bottle, but I've had it multiple times at different restaurants and different bars. It's pound for pound my favorite whiskey. And this should be no different. I haven't had this in a while. We had this in June. But yeah, it's all the classic Michter's notes. The sweet corn, the honey, the like caramel. Mm-hmm. It's dessert. So that's what it's almost like a dessert whiskey, even though this is 112 proof. And usually a dessert whiskey, you would think about it as like a 90 proof, 80, 90 proof bourbon. I'm excited.
And we got so drunk on Bardstown yesterday, we didn't even change clothes. We just passed out and decided to get up and record again.
I'm glad you mentioned that. I was going to change my clothes. I brought a hat. I have my bourbon shirt and my whiskey at Comiskey shirt. We're doing this in one take. We said that at the beginning of this series. I don't know how to edit shit, so we're doing this all in one take. Jason hasn't changed clothes in like 3 days. So. All right,
we're keeping it kayfabe.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly. Like a Homer Simpson costume over here. You're just going to have to keep this on all the time now.
Yes.
But yeah, anything Michter's, I've loved for a long time. Their Fort Nelson distillery is awesome. I can't recommend you guys visiting enough, but like I said, really good, really damn good.
Well, it is Christmas and it's full of surprises. So here we go with the little Michter's Toasted Sour Mash.
Well, there we go.
You said it was your favorite of all time, so
the bourbon, but also anything Michter's Toasted, the rye, the sour mash, the bourbon. Like I said, this guy over here is basically bourbon Santa Claus or whiskey Santa Claus. If you can think it, it's almost like Willy Wonka. If you can think it, he can have it.
In a world of pure imagination.
All right, so here we go. Well, I'm doing this.
We do a little more toasted sour mash over here.
Yeah, that is good. So the interesting thing about Michter's is the same thing with Wild Turkey. They barrel their stuff at a lower entry proof. So even their barrel strength whiskeys, they're not going to get much higher than 112, 115. I think the highest Michter's I've ever seen was like 116. They mentioned it at the distillery. Yeah. I don't remember, but you're never going to see a Michter's like past 120. Like it's just like impossible for them to get that hot, which makes it awesome because they're super sweet. It doesn't burn. People talk about the Kentucky Hug. It's warm and it's fuzzy and it's everything nice I like about bourbon, but nothing like, these super hot diesel bourbons and whiskeys that you have from other distilleries. So this is, Krista, thank you, Santa Jason. This is the toasted. Anything toasted smells like s'mores to me. I think I've said this like 5 times during the whole process of the 12 days of whiskey, but this is
why Peter does the reviews, because I just do it's good, it's damn good. He has his heightened palate, and I just go, that's good.
This is fantastic. I mean, A plus. Like it's an A plus. I'm gonna start grading bourbons in next year, and it's gonna be like a teacher scale, F to A. This is an A plus. Anything Michter's is mostly an A plus. So I said it's one of my two favorite distilleries. The second of being Wild Turkey.
And that's why we have a surprise, because it's full of Christmas surprises. And we didn't want to go full tater on the last night of the whiskeys, but we had to go a little something nice.
There we go. I mean,
so Russell's 13. This is this year's release.
I'm excited about it. Anything Wild Turkey, whether it be Wild Turkey 101, the Russell Reserve 10-year, their standard 10-year that you could find at grocery stores and stuff like that, the Russell Reserve private barrels, the store picks, anything turkey, rare breed. I had a whole episode about rare breed. It's my wheelhouse. It's my jam, if you will. Although I should mention, I don't fuck with Long Branch. I don't fuck with Long Branch all too much. The Matthew McConaughey bourbon, I know it's flavor, or it's finished in something weird. No, thank you. But this, yes, thank you. I was lucky enough to have last year's pour. Jason, you obviously were able to get last year's, and now we're doing this year's. Yep. I'm excited to compare the two because I remember the last one vividly. So let's get on to that. Is that what you poured me right here?
That's poured you right there.
Beautiful.
Merry
Cheers. Merry Christmas to Jason. Merry Christmas to Johnny.
Peter. Merry Christmas to everyone out there. And everyone who follows the bums.
This is, I like to say, like a bourbon fastball. This is Aroldis Chapman. Like, this is a 99 mile an hour.
It ain't a Craig Kimbrell, I'll tell you that much.
This is straight heat down the middle, oak, caramel, leather, tobacco.
You know what it is? It's Nolan Ryan punching Robin Ventura in the face.
That's a great, when you think of All-American pitchers, Nolan Ryan, this is Nolan Ryan in a glass. I love that comparison. It's beautiful. It really is. It's everything you want in a bourbon, everything I would like in a bourbon. Although I will say everything I want, I wish it was more accessible. I wish I could get my hands on a bottle. But that's why you have friends. That's why we say whiskey is meant to be shared. That's why we do Whiskey at Comiskey. Next year, all of our tailgates, we bring bottles for you guys to share, for us to share, for everyone to try. Because what's the fun of having this collection if it's not meant to be shared with friends, right?
That's right.
So, Jason, I appreciate you. I know we've been teasing the last 2 days of the Whiskey at Comiskey. I feel like it lived up to the hype. The Bardstowns, the Russells, the Michters. It's everything you could ever want in a bourbon. So, yeah, this wraps up our series. But like we mentioned, we're going to have more whiskey content in the upcoming year. We're going to have our Whiskey at Comiskey tailgates. Everyone's invited. We'll tag you guys. We'll post it every weekend that we're at the Sox games because we want to share this with you guys. So we appreciate everyone.
And I want to mention too, at the end of the year, I will be doing my top 10 power rank of my allocated bottles that I came across throughout the year.
Yes. So this is not the end of it. You can see, look at right over here. I don't know how cameras work. Look at that bottle right there. Look at that bottle right there. Look at that bottle right there. We're going to talk about those at the end of the year. Jason's going to make his top 10 power rankings or top 10 finds of the year. And I'm going to be here snagging some drinks.
That's right.
Yeah. Appreciate you guys. Merry Christmas to everyone.
Christmas to everyone.
We love you all. Appreciate everything you guys have done for us. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and share. And we'll see you next week on the Bumcast.
I'm going to take a shower now.
Yeah. Go change your clothes, man.